Welcome back. Today is the first in a series of automotive-based tool reviews. So what makes mine different is that I'm looking at them from an automotive perspective. So we're going to go over hand tools, diagnostic tools, electric impact tools, air tools, pneumatics, and even like wiring jumpers and stuff like that that are really useful whenever you're working in a garage or shop environment like this. Also, I use my tools for 3 to 6 months so I can really get a sense of how well they work in different environments and how well they still work after taking all my abuse. Case in point being this light. It's been with me for over a year now, and this is the light we're going over today in the video, and I've used it from the hot summer weather in the west in the middle of summer up until the winter of this year, putting an insulation in the attic, and it was -10 up there, and I found some good and some bad things about the light, and I'm able to relay that information to you so you really know what to expect when using this and purchasing this, and if it's worth your money. And there it is, up close and personal, the Milwaukee 2352 3 LED Trueview HD stick light. Now this light retails for around $90. I'll put links to that down below. And that's for the bare tool only. It's the only way it's sold. So you need to make sure you have a M18 battery pack on hand, whether it be the compact series, the 4.0 series, or even the new 5.0 series. Now with the battery pack offer there, you can see just how slender this light is and how you can jam it into those tight work areas and it'll just broadcast that light over the entire work area. It does that very well due to the angled housing on here. The angled reflective housing really puts out the light over the whole area instead of one line or one concentrated area. So it works really well as a broadcast light. Now it has 2 modes on it, a high setting, which is 300 lumens and 15 hours of runtime, and a low setting, which is 150 lumens and 30 hours of runtime. And all those runtime figures are based off of the 4.0 packs. So of course you're going to get less with the compact pack, and you're going to get more runtime with the 5.0 that just came out. Now one of the greatest features of this light is the Trueview Hd Lighting, which is near full spectrum lighting from LEDs. Usually LEDs are just bright white and that's it. It can kind of cloud whatever you're looking at. Whereas this one broadcasts it out, and it's Trueview, so it makes it a lot easier to get under the dash, under the hood, and look at a wire harness like this that has a bunch of light green and yellow wires all mixed together. It happens more often than you think. So it's great for that, and it has a bunch of other great features built right into it. It has the flex head on here. You can see that, so a lot of times I hunker it down on a shock tower or strut tower. I'll angle the light, and it has a high vantage point, and it just broadcasts over the general area. And it also has these hooks top and on the back side here. We'll go over this one first. It locks in. You unlock it, you pull it out, and you can lock it and hang it on something, okay? And then you also can loop it around something, push this back in, and then lock it down so it's a full loop now and it won't come off of there. Now what I also do is I use the back one here, which comes up, can swivel around and go back and forth for adjustment on here, okay? And I use that one and this one together, and I hang it on top of a hood, and it broadcasts light over the entire engine compartment, so it replaces those expensive under hood lights also. This thing has a lot of uses. Now I've used this thing from the summer heat on the tour in the west in the desert to -10 up in my garage installing insulation up there in the attic. And this thing has worked flawlessly over and over again. You can see I've used it a lot. And nothing on here has faltered or broken or worn out on me this whole time. All the abuse I put it through, dropping it, throwing it, getting water on it. And that's the other thing I want to touch on. This is IPX4 rated, which means you can splash water onto it and it will not have an issue. It's sealed up for that, so you don't worry about snow or ice melt or water coming off the car at all, or even coolant that may drip onto it. This lens on here is also replaceable. It has a couple screws. You can pop it out and throw a new one in without replacing the whole head on here or the whole tool. Now it's also drop rated for 2 meters. Well, I can tell you I've dropped this from 10, 12 feet over and over again again, once on concrete and the other times onto a wood floor, and guess what? Not one problem with this. No flickering LEDs, no issues at all. So I'm really impressed with the light. The one bad thing I can tell you about it, and this is why I want to use it from the hot to cold environments, is this button on here has a thick rubber cover over the actual switch underneath. So it's a little hard to press, okay? That's good for durability and everything. But when I was up there and it was, 10 degrees, 0 degrees, -10, ultra cold, I found it was really hard, if not impossible, to turn this light back off. That rubber got so hard on it, which is to be expected being so thick like that. I brought it back down into the shop here and I was able to turn it off. It's just one thing to note, and it's the only thing that I found bad about this tool thus far. Okay, so check out this feature. We're going to demonstrate the under hood light capability of this light, and you'll see it broadcast light across the whole engine compartment. But what's good about it is that you can use it for that to replace those expensive underhood lights, but you can also use this thing for general purpose lighting. Down in here, you got a shock tower, put it on the battery, and you can light up the area also. The way this works, the way I found for it to work great for underhood lighting, is because it has the two hooks. You extend both of them out, okay? You find a spot like this, put the rear one in there, okay? And then the other one goes into another slot in the hood, let's say right there. Wherever you can find hooks for it, and then you simply turn the light on. And I'll turn the lights off in the garage so you can see how it broadcasts throughout the whole engine compartment and not just right below it. So we'll go ahead and turn the lights out. And hopefully the camera adjusts. I'm going to turn you down here so you can see it. Hopefully you can see everything. Yeah. So as you can see, it broadcasts out throughout the engine compartment here. So I can see from this side of the hood over to this side of the hood. You see how it's not just stopping right here. It's broadcasting because it comes out at an angle and hitting the fender on this side also. It's getting the front here, of course, because it's right below it, but it's at an angle on the housing there, so it's getting the firewall also. So it's a great light to have, especially for this purpose. I mean, it's up, it's out of the way. See you later. It's not in my face, and I'm not bumping my head into it because it's not a full light on here, and it just work. Okay, and this is the actual light I used when I did the valve cover gasket on this vehicle. So you can see it has a lot of great purposes, and I'll also bring you inside of the vehicle to show you how it looks inside of there. You're doing any kind of under dash work or anything inside where you need to really see what the heck you're doing under seats and stuff like that. Okay, well, again, we're on the high setting. We're looking around in the vehicle. See what we can see. Okay. Oh, got a little out of focus there. But you can see that the Trueview lighting, so you can see colors, okay, properly. And we can see even up and under the dash because of the angle of the lighting. So after all of that, do I actually recommend buying this light? Well, one thing I've gone through over the years a lot, big time, I mean big time, is lights. I break them, they fall apart it seems, they start flickering on me, and that's the worst part right there, is flickering lights. These LED lights that start flickering. And I would say after a year, little over a year of using this thing for everything I do, from building the shed to the garage to the tour to working on cars, it's come through every time. No problems, works every time, and of course it lasts a long time. That's probably the nicest feature, is that you can just hunker it down and you can work on a car, or in my case, record and work on a car, which takes twice as long. And I don't have to worry about changing batteries every freaking hour or two. This thing just sits there and it just provides the light. Done. You don't think about it no more. And it has so many uses, from a stand-up light to a hook light to, like I showed earlier, that under hood light where it just hooks onto the hood there. It's amazing. This light is absolutely amazing. It's everything I hoped it would be. And even with the $90 price tag, plus you got to buy the battery, I think it's still worth it because it's going to last a really long time. That's why they have these long battery and tool warranties, because they know the tool is made that well. So this is one light that I have, one tool that I have zero reservations about buying or recommending. It's that great. So go out, try it somewhere, get a buddy's light that has one, and see for yourself just how well it works in different environments before you buy it even. You'll be blown away.